Hi there, this is a Polish Up Your Pedagogy on formative assessment. This is the second video out of 6 and it's about creating confident learners. It links to the learning sale. Learners have regular opportunities throughout the learning process to demonstrate their progress and achievement through well-planned formative and summative assessments appropriate to individual needs. And it links to our GTC standards of formative assessment 3.1.4, which is to effectively employ assessment, evaluate progress, recording and reporting as an integral part of the teaching process to support and enhance learning. Shirley Clark describes formative assessment as a process. She insists formative assessment is about good teaching and learning as it enables progress rather than measuring it. She describes formative assessment as a set of teaching and learning processes that empower children not only to progress, but also to become owners of their own learning. She states that there are 5 elements to formative assessment. These elements overlap and depend on each other if they're to be effective. The element that sits at the centre, that is crucial to the 4 other elements, is about creating the right learning culture in your classroom, where children have high self-efficacy, they believe in themselves and are confident at knowing how to learn. So today's aims are to develop an understanding of how to create a culture in your classroom which develops self-efficacy, confidence and a knowledge of how to learn. The purpose of Curriculum for Excellence is encapsulated in 4 capacities, and these are outlined in Building the Curriculum 3. So it is to enable each child or young person to be a successful learner, a confident individual, a responsible citizen, and an effective contributor. Thinking about confident individuals, we want learners to be confident. We want them to have self-respect, a sense of physical, mental and emotional well-being, secure values and beliefs and ambition. We want the pupils in our class to relate to others and manage themselves, pursue a healthy and active lifestyle, be self-aware, develop and communicate their own beliefs and view of the world, live as independently as they can, assess risk and take informed decisions, and achieve success in different areas of activity, including learning. So how do we create that culture of self-efficacy, that belief or confidence in our learners that Building the Curriculum 3 outlines? Well, we need to praise our learners, but our praise should always be task-related, not ego-related. We need to link it to the activity they have been successful in. So, for example, you might say to a child, "You've worked hard on this and have used capital letters and full stops correctly in this piece of writing," rather than, "You're a genius, you're great at punctuation." We need to normalise errors. Learners need to understand that mistakes mean you are on the brink of new learning, and that finding something easy usually means you already know it. John Hattie says that errors invite opportunities to learn, and we need to acknowledge that mistakes are okay, but we need to show learners how to fix or correct their mistakes, maybe by working collaboratively in pairs or as a class. If we want children to learn and remember things, then they have to have thought about them. We need to tell children about the brain and its capacity to learn and memorise knowledge. We need to tell children that they can grow their intelligence, but we need to put in practice, effort, time, and input. We need to be careful we don't overload learners' working memory. We can do this by labelling diagrams rather than writing a key, printing off notes for them to annotate and highlight rather than just copying everything down from the interactive whiteboard. We could have regular low-stake quizzes as starter activities to allow learners to practice retrieving things from their long-term memory so that they are easier to recall. We need to focus learners on what we want them to learn and establish this at the start of the lesson, not the end. You might put key facts or visuals or scaffolds on a wall to support the learning. If you're modelling a new skill, then try modelling it in silence and then ask your learners what you did rather than trying to explain and model at the same time, which can overwhelm working memory. And we need to introduce learners to the importance of having a growth mindset and an understanding of learning powers and refer to them in our teaching. Guy Claxton talks about learning powers, which we can refer to in our classrooms. For example, you might say, "You asked for help today, well done. You didn't give up. You showed great perseverance and resilience." These learning powers may link to your school's vision, values and aims. And these two texts and website offer further reading in this field. Finally, have a think about what strategies you're using to develop resilience and confidence in your learners in your class to lead their own and others' learning. Reflect on that question and comment on it in your GTC profile. Thanks for listening.